Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to Empires SMP. I hope you guys are having a good day. Today, we're going to kick off by harvesting some resources because I really want to do another build. We're going to be working on a blast furnace auto-smelter in today's episode, and I want to introduce to you to something that I have not actually introduced in the previous episode, but was built if you took a look in the background of some of the scenes in the last video. This is what I'm calling a pylon, and I did kind of design these a little while ago when I decided I want to build in a desert. They are basically going to be sources of power, but also kind of markers of the boundaries of our kingdom here, or at least maybe lining the river a little bit. I want to make these kind of structures which have a conduit in the center as the kind of symbol of power and also light source that I'm using around here, and I really like the way this one came together. It's got a bit of copper in there for the lovely gradient, and of course we're draping it in azalea leaves that really stand out here in the desert. I want to have a bunch of these around here, and they may differ in their designs. I quite like this one, but I've got a couple of other designs that I want to try out and maybe alternate depending on where they are positioned. And I want to start building a few more of these on and off camera, so you probably won't see too many of these being built in episodes, but I might do them on streams, and they will probably start popping up around here as we start to transform the landscape into our own empire. And transforming the landscape is what I've done quite a lot of recently, for a couple of reasons. First of all, I want the desert to be a little bit flatter. There are lovely rolling dunes around the place and some kind of giant hills here and there, but I don't necessarily want too much variation in the landscape, or at least if I do have variation here, I want it to be stuff that I built myself. I want to do some actual terraforming in this series and maybe build some terrain features that are a little bit more custom looking and a little bit cooler than Minecraft's natural generation. I also really need this stuff. Sandstone is actually surprisingly hard to come by, ironically, when you're building in a desert, because the problem with sandstone a lot of the time is that it generates a few blocks below a few layers of sand, which is fine if it's out here on the surface in caves. You can just kind of dig up the floor in some of these little ravines and rifts here and there, and sooner or later you dig down, you hit stone, and then you get patches of sandstone and stone all mixed in together. The problem is when you want to mine out a large quantity of it, which is going to be easiest to do just by like digging into the wall of an area like this. Sooner or later, once you start digging like 3 or 4 blocks high, you start to take out the ceiling, and then all the sand falls in on you. And what that ends up with is the desert looking like this. And I really don't like having all of these holes in the landscape. It looks untidy, unnatural, and frankly, it doesn't really suit the aesthetic that I have in mind for this place. It also fills the desert full of pitfalls that I fall into whilst I'm trying to run around and get copper. So instead, my solution to that has been to chip away at the landscape and carve down the tops of some of these dunes so that the desert is a little bit flatter, which will also mean that once we have a few more buildings in here and we start to expand further out into the desert, and I have big plans for expanding this place and building all kinds of little aesthetic houses and stuff like that, we're going to be able to see more of that from any given place without the landscape getting in the way as much. Or if it does get in the way, then it's going to be much more intentional. So while I'm gathering some resources and filing down some of these dunes and hills, I want to take you guys to a couple of clips I recorded earlier in the week. First of all, MythicalSausage paid his first visit to my base because he was having a bit of trouble with his villagers.
Pigs!
Oh, hello. Hi.
Oh.
You made it.
Thank you. Yes, it wasn't that far at all. It was only 1,200 blocks.
It's a really long way.
It's okay. I found this guy, so he helped me out. He helped guide me over here a little closer.
Yeah, the bunnies have got a good homing sense. They're kind of like pigeons that way. As you can see, I'm taking very good care of the copper you traded with me earlier.
Yeah, I was like wondering what happened to it. I see it's all on this field here.
Yeah, sure is.
This is awesome.
This is actually the best way to age copper, believe it or not. It's just to give it some space. It's practicing social distancing, which means that it ages faster, like the rest of us, apparently.
Like all of us. Yeah, I feel like I'm 10 years older right now. It's perfect. Yeah, this makes sense. Oh, and I love that little light source you got right there. It's a little expensive, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking to trade some more of these, so if you find any more Hearts of the Sea, I'll be fishing for Nautilus shells basically forever. So
for all of time.
Yeah, more or less. I happen to have picked like the grindiest stuff to do. I've got all of the copper, I've got all of the conduits and stuff.
Good luck with that. And I'm also apparently I might have or might have not. Okay, I haven't determined yet, but I thought somebody might have trolled me, but I think I did it to myself. I apparently didn't light that well where the villagers were, and they're all zombified. So I have no books. I have no mending. I have no efficiency. I have nothing. I have no success, no fortune, because they're all undead.
Yeah, I saw that when I was there earlier, and I thought he must have a plan for this. But no, they're just completely zombified. Okay, all right, follow me. I've got the good stuff.
And you didn't tell me anything. You were like, I was zombies in there. You didn't say anything. I had no idea.
I assumed you had a plan, my dude. Anyway,
no,
let's.
There's no plan. I walked in there 5 minutes after you left. I was like, what happened here?
I was like, he says he hasn't been to the Nether, but I assume he's got a plan. Okay, so follow me. Are you good for golden apples at least? Do you have golden apples?
Yeah. I got some golden apples. Yeah, I got that. I'm good.
All right, I got the hookup for you because yeah, arrows of weakness. Make sure you don't shoot them with a super powerful bow. Obviously, just get like a level 1 like unenchanted bow, and then just like exactly. Just like throw a really weak shot at them as well, so it does as little damage as possible, and then they'll just regenerate health once you feed them the apples. So
yeah, because that was genius. I saw you do that, and that blew my mind completely. I completely forgot that was a thing, and my whole mind has been exploded all over this floor.
Yeah, man. They just got to have the potion effect. It doesn't matter whether it actually came from a potion or not. So good luck with that.
Oh, thank you. Let me test this out. Make sure it works. It worked. Oh no! God, Bunny, watch out! Bunny! I'm not gonna want to know what that is. I'm leaving. I'm fine.
All right. See you later, Sausage. Good luck with the zombies.
Thank you so much. Oh, I'll let you know if I die or not. Thank you. Oh man.
And shortly after that, PearlescentMoon wanted to talk about the glowberries that I'd left in her farmhouse.
Hello. What's happening? I have a visitor.
Hello, there you are.
Hello. How's it going?
It's good. So, did you get the glowberries I left you?
Yeah, I did get them. You placed them in a very interesting fashion. I mean, it kind of looks like a curtain around my bed, which I like, but the door ones are a little bit intrusive.
Yeah, apologies for that. I was just, you had so many slabs in there. I was just trying to find a decent block to place them on.
So, what you're saying next time is I should slab the whole thing.
Yeah,
so
I mean, next time, Pearl, you need to make your builds like less creative and stop showing up the rest of us because wow, this place looks great. Like seriously, come on.
What do you mean? Your base is fantastic as well. Don't even.
I mean, I do all right. I noticed you got some copper aging issues with your roof, though.
I do a little bit. I've been working on, like, I've got my little bee. He's doing a lot of work. Okay. Although I think he might have disappeared. I don't know if someone killed him.
I've been a busy little bee as well, so I can probably help you out with some honeycomb if you want some.
Okay. Well, first we've got one deal. You know, I'm just going to sleep real quick because it's nighttime.
Yeah,
but
good
there
plan.
is another deal that we have to settle first.
We sure do. Yes.
It seems like you've asked for some amethyst shards.
I
right?
have, yeah. I really want to work with tinted glass, so I was hoping to get hold of some amethyst to mess around with. I know other people are building with the blocks, but I'm really into the tinted glass thing. I think I can do some cool stuff with that, maybe some mob farms.
Okay, fair enough. And was did you want glowing sacks, or was that just a...
that was more for the
sign.
pun, but if you've got some glow ink, I'll take it. I haven't really done much with that at my base yet, so I kind of want to see what I'm capable of.
I have 32 if you want them.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
Wait, can this be like the trade-off for the honeycomb?
Oh, it could be, yes. Give me 1 second. I need to get into character. Bear with me 2 seconds. Let me take this off. There we go. Okay, now I'm in. Hang on 1 second. You have a llama.
Wait.
I need to do this.
You can't be stealing my llama.
I mean,
this
I'm
is
not
how a trader works.
I'm just borrowing him, okay? I mean, it's all part of the bit, Pearl. It's all part of the bit. So we're here to trade, yes. And you had some amethyst shards and potentially some glow ink.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 stacks of amethyst shards.
Ooh.
Is this enough for the glowberries?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking more like 2, to be honest. But if you want to give me a few more,
I could only give you 2 stacks.
You could, but you're feeling generous, and I respect that. So that's
I am
awesome.
feeling generous. Here you go.
Oh, thank you so much. Seriously, that's wonderful. And yeah, I want to make a bunch of tinted glass. Like a stack or 2 is great, and you need like 4 of these per. I think you get 2 tinted glass out of it.
It is quite expensive.
It's a weird. I haven't got the maths quite right in my head yet, so I don't know quite how much this is going to get me. But it should be a great start. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. And there's another matter here, which is the glowing sacks.
Yes.
So you were doing a little bit of talking about some honeycomb.
We are.
And I would love to do a bit of a trade, you know.
Yes, I have 2 stacks of honeycomb for you if you want that. That should keep you going for a while, at least with the roof.
It should. There you go. I'm totally good with this deal.
Yes, that was just one. I forgot
was
to
just
throw
one.
the entire stack on the ground. There you go. That's
I
two
have been
stacks.
utterly bamboozled. Okay, thank you, I got it.
A couple of other things you can be on the lookout for me if you happen to find it, because this is the stuff that I will basically need throughout, like constantly throughout this series, is emerald ore and nautilus shells. So if you can get hold of either of these for me.
I remember you mentioning that I could kind of buy your whole base with a full stack of deep slate emerald ore, right?
You could, yes. Gemini Tay has already made a down payment on that, although I'm not certain if she knows that yet. She did give me a few deep slate emerald recently, but considering
so is this the race to buy your base? That's what this whole
it kind of
about.
is to the highest bidder, but considering that you can only find it in mountain biomes, but it is technically speaking the rarest block in the game, so.
Okay.
Like, I would honestly sell decent chunks of my kingdom for a good chunk of deep slate emerald.
All right. Well, I think there's a lot of things I guess we could buy you out for. The regular emerald and whatnot as well. So wait, what would you trade for the regular emeralds?
Regular emerald, whatever you got. I mean, I've got copper. I've got, I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff. I'm probably going to make a drowned farm later, so I'll be selling tridents, and that's where I'm hoping to get the nautilus shells from. But if you come across any in the meantime, I'm making conduits one of the light sources that I use, because
You're
apparently
using conduits as light sources.
I don't do
right.
anything by halves, Pearl. You know this, so I kind of need to. Design some stuff around conduits, and these things I can't fish enough of them at this point.
I think I have some Heart of the Seas.
If you got those as well, those would be incredible, because those are going to be even harder to find.
I think I have some. I don't know how many I have though. I have one. Heart of the Sea.
Okay.
One.
I don't have a whole lot else I can trade you right now. I have a very nice fishing rod and 7 blocks of oxidized copper, or I can give you an IOU. Which of these would you prefer?
The copper is really enticing right now, but I think, I don't know, like is 7 blocks enough?
I can come back with more. I can very easily come back with more.
But maybe if you up it to like 15?
15? Yeah, I mean, I can do you round it up to 16. This is Minecraft after all. Like, I'll give you a quarter. 16, I'll give you a quarter stack of oxidized copper. How does that sound?
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Perfect.
You can have it as a. I'm trusting in you.
Oh no,
I'm trusting you to
7 blocks as a down payment, because the odd number is going to drive us mad until we both get to 16, right? So
this is true. Yes, this is true.
And,
so I need 9 blocks of copper.
Yes, absolutely. I will owe you that, and I will return your llama to his proper place now that our trading has concluded.
Thank you. Well, thank you for the honeycomb and the copper.
Thank you for
and
the amethyst and the glow ink and 1 heart of the sea. I will come back with 9 blocks of copper as soon as I can.
Most welcome. It's been a pleasure.
It has. All right. Well, I'll leave you to it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And
no worries.
see you soon. I'm gonna yell at MythicalSausage for you on the way past. All right.
Thank you. He's doing some trolling today.
Well, my shovel is pretty close to breaking at this point, but thankfully we got a lot of the scenery around here leveled out, and it really doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look super unnatural. I have started to cover over some sections of sandstone with just the regular sand so that it blends in with the desert environment a little bit more, and there's still a little bit more work to do around the place, but ultimately what that's left me with is enough materials to get started on today's build. We're going to do the outside before we do the inside this time, because I'm fairly certain the build I've designed has enough space for a big old blast furnace auto-smelter, so it's time to get started, and we're going to do this in the form of a time-lapse. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hi there. Have I found House Blossom? Is this it?
Yes, this is the start.
Awesome. It looks amazing. I love the
Thank you.
I love the little kind of like fairy tale style house. It's very, very cool. So
Yeah.
you mentioned you wanted some sand, so I've come to trade.
Yes, please. I need sand so badly.
I assume you're planning on building a lot with concrete. I'm guessing what the sand is
Yeah,
for.
basically the palette of my little baby house is the palette of my kingdom. So,
Yeah,
Yep.
I feel like we've both chosen fairly expensive materials to build with because I'm doing a ton of stuff with
Yeah.
copper and I'm like having to go mining every day.
no.
So yeah, so I've brought a fair amount of sand. How much do you think you need right now?
How much do you have and are willing to trade for?
I basically have an entire ender chest full.
I might need to give you some more flowers.
Yeah, whatever you feel like parting with
Here,
at this
I'll
point.
give you what I have picked out because I heard you want some flowers, and you
Ooh,
can give
yes.
me what you think is fair for these.
Oh, 10 of each? Oh, I like this. Yes.
That
yes.
one's 11, so that's a bonus. That's for
Oh,
me.
okay. I get that thrown in free of charge. Yes, no, perfect. This is great because, yeah, dye is obviously really hard to come by in the desert. Like, there's no flowers that
Yes.
really grow there. I have cactus, but that's basically it. So this is,
All builds are green.
yes, pretty much, yeah. I'm going with cyan as well, so I've got half of it there, but then I need to go digging for lapis all of the time. So, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different types of flowers. Okay, so I'm just gonna say we'll give you 10 stacks of sand. I think that will probably do it for now. And then if you...
Oh, thank you so much.
I mean, you're welcome. If you want any more sand, then, I mean, I would really be after cornflowers mostly because having the blue dye to work
Ooh.
with cyan, I think that's
Yes.
probably going to be best for me. So if you want to
I
supply...
can make that happen.
Yeah, that would be really incredible because, yeah, oh boy, it's very difficult to get hold of dye out there. But this will keep me going for a while. I'm going to stash the rest of those in there. And yeah, I went to the nether the other day just to get ender chests, so this has been really useful. Yeah, me and I don't know where the other sheep has gone, by the way. It seems to have broken the lead and sort of wandered off.
Did you bring me sheep?
These ones were just kind of wandering around, but you know, I felt like I got to turn up with some animals in tow, otherwise I wouldn't really be the wandering trader. So
This is mine now.
you're just like luring it away, Pied
gonna
Piper
take
style
this.
with wheat. Yeah, no, you go ahead, that's fine.
I'm just gonna add this to my pen of friends.
I did basically give Gemini Tay one of my wandering trader llamas the other day, so yeah, I think that's fine. I think the animal can be like what's it called, like a collateral or something? I don't know. The animal can just be like a bonus to seal the deal.
Or a form of alliance.
Yes, I need alliances on this because I've already angered several people. I don't know.
no.
I don't know if Scott has found out that I waxed all of his copper blocks yet, but he's been trying to age them, and I don't think they're going to age. So I have a feeling I'm going to be making enemies on this server quite quickly.
I can 100% bet he has no idea.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that fact. But yeah, sooner or later he's going to find out, and the Copper King will have messed with his copper. So I'm kind of curious
so
to see what
funny.
happens after that. And I haven't heard from Lizzie yet, but I did build a giant frog over in her lily pads. So we might have to.
Oh no!
We
Do
might
I
have to.
have to watch out? Do I need to prepare my land for pranks?
We've obviously got a deal worked out here, so I'd say you're safe
Yeah,
for now.
we're
but-
best friends now. We gave each other things.
Exactly. You've got my sheep. I feel like if anything, you've got like
I
a
will
bargaining
protect
chip.
your sheep.
It's a bargaining sheep at this point. Yes. I don't expect there will be any pranks headed your way, but yeah, depending on whether or not people find out that we're allies now, you might you might end up getting on somebody else's bad side.
Am I going to be on the bad side?
We'll see. But yeah, maybe we can. I can maybe bring some defenses over if you need to protect this area a little bit.
That would be lovely. I need protection from everything. So.
Including yourself occasionally. Yeah.
There's empires all around me in every direction. So
I feel like I'm most worried about Fwip, if anything, because he's got some weird science going on that I'm ever so slightly worried
no.
about. He keeps staring at redstone ore like he's kind of possessed by it. So I am curious to see what he's going to do with that.
is he playing with potions?
He might be, yeah. He did mention something about setting up like an alchemy set or something. Nope.
I'm gonna hide in the wheat fields. It's camouflage. He loves wheat fields.
Yeah, exactly. He can't harm a wheat field. But
You can't harm the wheat.
yeah, all I'm saying is watch out for that guy, because you gotta keep an eye on the
Alright, I
weird
have to
neighbors.
Keep my eyes open in all directions. I gotta create a giant tower to look out to protect my land.
A watchtower sounds like a good plan. Yeah. Well, if that was all you needed in terms of sand for now, then I'm gonna get
Yes.
going. But let me know if you need any
so
more.
much.
No, you are more than welcome, and thank you for the flowers. I will put them to good use.
Thank you for letting me steal your sheep.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey folks, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the time lapse and that little clip visiting Katherine Elizabeth's base. House Blossom. Very exciting, and we've got all of the flowers still waiting in the ender chest here, ready to be broken down into various dyes. So it's super cool to have another alliance on the server. So a little bit about this building, because it's not quite done yet. You'll notice in the time lapse that the roof was relatively basic, and that's because I'm not certain if I want to add some redstone functionality yet. I don't know if I want to maybe have some sort of piston system which closes up the chimneys here to cut off the campfire smoke, and that way you would be able to tell when our copper was done smelting, or whatever else we happen to be smelting, but it's probably going to be copper, let's be real. I used enough of it in this build that I kind of need more now, but we'd be able to tell when that copper was done smelting by the fact that the campfire smoke was no longer emanating from those chimneys. So I'm considering doing something like that. The interior obviously needs a little bit of work, and it needs the mechanism itself. We'll do that in just a second here, but I was thinking I probably want to incorporate a little bit of clay brick into this, some actual red brick, and so I'm thinking about getting hold of a mason villager. I don't know if anybody on the server is trading for red brick. People don't tend to harvest clay all that much for bricks. A lot of the time I think people just go through stonemason villagers now, but I was messing around with a few details of this in the creative test for this build, and I really like the way that dripstone started to incorporate with this stuff. I think maybe just the idea that it's been sandblasted and sculpted by the desert winds and creating these kind of cones of rock, which I honestly think works really well for a desert environment. And I'm considering even maybe turning some of the caves in this area into dripstone caves so that we can have a little bit more of a... Whoa, hello. Just backed into a cactus. It's not like I haven't been living in the desert for a couple of weeks already. I was wondering if maybe, we could use that as part of the geological features of this area. I know Fwip has been farming dripstone, so maybe we can buy a little bit more from him at some point, but I think it's kind of fun. Again, another trade we can get from mason villagers is the dripstone block itself. So maybe we'll end up doing a little bit more with that. But I love the details of this build. Want to do a little bit more work on the roof, but overall I think it came together very well. What you also might have noticed in the time lapse is that placing a few blocks around here opened up basically sinkholes in the caves underneath here, thanks to the fact that all of the sand was floating above the caves, and there are still a few of those that I need to fill in, but of course we plan to landscape this area a little bit anyway, so that's not quite the setback it could have been. And yes, unfortunately I was missing a few of the bee nests to put into this build, and it sounds like some of them still have occupants, much as I did try to flush all of the bees out of the hives beforehand. So I still need to go looking for a few more of those, and maybe we'll just reorient them so the bees can come out and then reorient them so they can't get back in. But you'll notice a few other bees floating around here in the meantime. Before we get to the blast furnace, where the redstone is going to be fairly pedestrian, you'll probably have seen something like this before, I came into my house earlier and found this. Solidarity Gaming is back on the server and has left a little gift from the Swamp Empire. Friends, we will see, because it depends entirely what this is. It's a cake. How lovely. That is very kind of you, and it doesn't seem to be trapped in any way. I was slightly worried that he might have done something to the pressure plate, but it seems like he hasn't done that either. So evidently this is meant to be an actual olive branch of friendship. Well, that's very kind of him, and you know what? I'm going to enjoy this cake. I'm going to put it down here on this crafting table and have a few slices when I feel like it, because yeah, I think we can be friends with somebody who's going to bring us cake. I think that sounds like an excellent idea to me, and maybe we can find an excuse to stab him in the back later if our motive requires it. But now I can update the map with our brand new build, and that is looking really nice. Kind of, if you turn your head on the side, it sort of looks like a boombox, I guess, a little bit. But anyway, we're going to be working on that a little bit more, but I think it's now time to get the blast furnace auto-smelter installed. And so after a brief intermission, here is the redstone. It's all fairly simple, again, nothing that you haven't seen before with other auto-smelters, but basically we just have two minecart hoppers running to and from these fuel input lines and resource input lines there, and a row of hoppers just carrying everything back to this chest. The main thing we're going to be putting in the input chest here for now is iron, because I don't have a huge amount of copper, but I do have quite a lot of raw iron that needs to be smelted, and I don't really have any intentions for using the raw iron block, although it could potentially fit in with the color palette around here. It's certainly got that kind of pinkish hue to it. I do think it's going to be better off just as a utility right now. We don't want to have to pay MythicalSausage for iron right away. So I'm thinking we need to smelt all of this down for future projects, and goodness knows that projects like this take up a fair amount of iron with the crafting recipes for all of these things to begin with. The main fuel we're going to be using is coal, because having gone mining with Fortune 3 from the beginning of the series, I have a pretty monumental amount of coal, and we're not going to be using the full coal blocks, much as it would be more efficient to do so for large batches, because I don't know quite how often I'll be coming through with small batches of stuff, and I don't want to waste an entire coal block on maybe just like 1 or 2 pieces of copper. So we're going to fill up the fuel chest with some of this coal. I have so much of it that it's spilling out of my inventory, so it's certainly going to be enough to last us a while. And having turned the lever off here, the minecart hopper can rest underneath this chest for a while, pick up all the fuel, and then deliver an even amount of it amongst the furnaces. We're also going to put the other hopper minecart down here, and that's going to start taking in all of the iron. I'm going to break the rest of these raw iron blocks down, and we should get this stuff smelting pretty quickly. One other thing I will probably end up doing is placing levers on the front of each of these in order to switch on and off the hopper here. It's actually going to lock both the input and output hoppers if we power this block with a redstone signal, and that's going to allow me to take one item out of the blast furnace output to collect the XP for all the items it's smelted, which, considering blast furnaces can only process ore, that's likely to be quite a lot of XP, because iron and copper and gold and the type of stuff that we're going to be using this for does actually give you a fair amount of XP. Hopefully it'll be enough to repair the damage that I've already done to my tools in this episode. So we're going to stash the rest of the iron in there. It's already taken on as much as it can handle. We'll set the system going, and the blast furnaces will light up, although it's kind of difficult to see under the levers, so I don't plan on leaving the levers there for the long term, but I think for the short term it's going to make quite a neat little XP farm. Already we've got a bunch of iron coming into the output here, and the reason that I've made such a large build for such a small blast furnace smelter is that I do plan on expanding this, and we can do some pretty cool decor in here the rest of the time. So maybe we'll expand it to 16 or 20, or maybe a couple more blast furnaces in future. Maybe we'll expand it to different types of smelting if we want to smoke food in here, or just have a general purpose smelter for glass out of sand, or any of the other stuff that we might want to get that way. But I think for now I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Empires SMP. My name has been Pixlriffs. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.